I've been in process of getting slow canceled by the kind of insider Bitcoin niche on X. And that's at the same time, like at the same exact time, I think I've actually been becoming better and even better at articulating Bitcoin to like quote unquote regular people, because my name is Brian. I've talked to thousands of Bitcoiners about personal finance, both in person and online. I spent 6-7 years working for Bitcoin financial services companies. Had the leading Bitcoin meetup on the West Coast for several years during COVID. So I've talked with a lot of Bitcoiners. I've been a personal finance nerd my entire life. Talked to people, OG all the way to, just found out about Bitcoin this week. And just this past few months, I've been getting better at communicating Bitcoin to regular people. When I say regular people, what happens on this channel, there's three audiences of this channel backed by what the back end of YouTube shows me. And people are coming from, a third of the audience comes from Bitcoin only channels. A third of the audience comes from other crypto news, kind of general news crypto channels. And then a third of the audience is coming from Dividend Snowball and kind of regular personal finance YouTube. And when I keep saying regular personal finance, I mean there's tension, and there's been tension between the Bitcoin side of the internet and the regular, work your job, invest in index funds, save aggressively, and then you can retire early. There's tension there. And for a lot of people have seen Bitcoin as gambling and as too speculative. And, the volatility is too high, right? I have more empathy for that position than I ever have. And I think that's been making me better at communicating Bitcoin to that audience. And I like seeing these two things overlap because, like I said, I've been a personal finance nerd my entire life. And the reason why I like that they overlap or can begin to overlap is because there is a philosophical fix the money, fix the world undercurrent to Bitcoin. And I still love that a lot, and I still believe in that a lot. Traditional personal finance YouTube they'll talk about, here's everything that you need to do to make your own personal finances good, and it's all good and solid advice. But if you talk to most of those people offline, they run the entire political spectrum, right? But they have solutions for society that fall kind of, again, within traditional solutions. Again, whether right or left, just solutions to problems for society that have already been tried and already been debated and then kind of just are stuck in kind of regular political bureaucracy. Whereas Bitcoin and Bitcoin and there being open source neutral money that has a supply cap on it, that is just open source software, and so we all know the monetary policy of it, that transforms personal finance and also transforms societal finance and societal issues at the same time. So that's the reason why I personally ping pong back and forth between them, and that's the reason why there is kind of this very hardcore laser-eyed Bitcoin community. That's why that exists. So that's why we are where we are, and I understand that that's a turnoff for a lot of people. And so with that stage kind of set, the framework that is cutting through right now and kind of helping both sides come together is the 0.25 Bitcoin framework. And it's simply this. A non-Bitcoin investor, someone who hasn't invested Bitcoin up to this point, or someone who's had just kind of dabbled a little bit but doesn't have clear conviction, that person is asking, well, how much should I have of Bitcoin, right? My answer is 0.25 for every $1 million of net worth that you have. And where's that coming from? It's coming from Bank of America advisors are now able to recommend Bitcoin. Okay, so one of the largest wealth advisor networks in the United States And there's lots of landmarks. It's not that I love Bank of America or whatever. It's just like that's the latest kind of landmark that has come out where the advisors are now able to recommend Bitcoin, okay? They're recommending between 1% to 5%. And you can find lots of other stats on the internet of financial advisors that recommend low single digits, okay? So in between 1% and 5% is 2.5%. Bitcoin is floating around $100,000. The fair current value of Bitcoin is around $100,000, okay? So $25,000 would get you 0.25 Bitcoin. The other reason why it's helpful to just choose a number, like I think anyone who's stacking more than that, more than 0.25 per $1 million of net worth that they have, I would consider that aggressive stacking. And I would say you're crushing it. Like I'm an aggressive stacker. There's lots of people that are turning it up. I would say the baseline conservative stacking, 0.25, like minimum. Probably a better word is minimum. And the reason why you should have a minimum of 0.25 Bitcoin per $1 million in net worth is because Bitcoin is becoming the new benchmark. It's becoming the new S&P 500. It's becoming the new kind of flat growth index of the world. Because it's becoming the new index, and because there's a supply cap of only 21 million Bitcoin, you have to 0.25 per $1 million of net worth helps you maintain where you are as the fiat monetary supply is expanding, as the supply of USD is effectively infinite. And we all know this. We know this intellectually, but I'm not sure that everyone has dialed down that into their actual personal finances. Okay, a lot of people use real estate as their main hedge against fiat debasement and against increasing USD, right? But the problem with real estate is it's not liquid. It's not liquid and you can't sell off shares. So then enter the S&P 500, like VOO. VOO becomes this kind of, because you can't hold dollars in a bank account and keep pace, you have to constantly be investing, right? Bitcoin slices through all that. Bitcoin slices through all that to a greater degree, and more people are coming around to the concept and the philosophy and the position that Bitcoin is the new index of the world and the new core position of the world. But you don't have to go all in, because then the volatility wrecks your day-to-day life, which is the same reason why people still don't go all in on the S&P 500 either, and which is why everyone's like freaking hopping around high yield savings accounts all the time, right? And so 0.25 per $1 million of net worth is enough growth. You're attaching enough growth to the most volatile, most hyper growth asset in the world that's becoming the new benchmark, but you're not going so far in that it kind of like messes up everything else that you've got going on in your life. So 0.25 per $1 million is the minimum kind of benchmark in order to maintain where you are as the world continues to transition from like S&P 500 as the benchmark to Bitcoin as the benchmark. Now, you might disagree with that. Like if you've come from the dividend channels, you genuinely might disagree with that. You might be like, again, that's so kind of foreign, right? That's so kind of foreign to say that, oh, it's becoming the benchmark. Bitcoin volatility is trending down. Countries are stacking Bitcoin. States are stacking Bitcoin. Large endowments are stacking Bitcoin. The BlackRock Bitcoin ETF was the most successful ETF launched in the history of ETFs. They make more money on their Bitcoin ETF than they do on their S&P 500 ETF. So this is a thing. Stablecoins, heard of stablecoins? Banks are lobbying against stablecoins to be able to pay interest because they know if stablecoins are able to pay interest, and then crypto exchanges like Coinbase are going to win the deposit war. People are going to start holding USDC instead of fiat in bank accounts. The stock market, NASDAQ, is moving to 24/7 trading, or they might stop at 24/5 business day trading, but they'll eventually get to 24/7. The world, like, it doesn't make any sense that money only moves 9 to 5 Monday through Friday. That doesn't make any sense anymore. everything is moving towards Bitcoin as the benchmark and stablecoins as the benchmark. So the minimum that you should be on board with that changing of the world order like that is 0.25 per $1 million of your net worth. Now, I know that stretches the dividend people a little bit. It also doesn't sound aggressive enough for the people coming from the Bitcoin channels. And the fact that I'm talking about stablecoins and talking about other on-chain finance bothers the people coming from that channel. And so that's what I mean about just really enjoying crafting and articulating like a broader based message. And so if you've made it all the way to the end and you're resonating with that, I think you would really enjoy being a part of the Bitcoin Personal Finance Think Tank. You click join next to the subscribe button. It's a few bucks a month. You can cancel anytime. We hold group calls in the Discord once a week where we're talking through this. We're talking through how to increase your net worth while dealing with Bitcoin's volatility and everything that's changing in the world. And I also do one-on-one calls. And so there's a link below if you want to talk through personal finance. And if you don't have any friends in real life that can articulate Bitcoin, I'm happy to do that for you. And so there's a link in the description as well for that. Click join next to the subscribe button. Make sure you get in the Discord. 0.25 per $1 million in net worth.